Hello once again, welcome to Mima's Crafts. Today I'm going to show you how to crochet this beautiful handbag here. It's a very nice and simple bag and we're going to be using the cross stitch to crochet this bag. Okay, so this is the bottom of the bag, the handle, okay. Inside of the bag. If you want, you can choose to line the bag or put a zipper here. It's still fine. Okay, so let's see what you're going to need for us to crochet this bag. So you're going to need a scissors, a crochet hook. I used a 6mm crochet hook. You're also going to need stitch markers, about 7 of them. You're also going to need a tapestry needle. You're also going to need macrame. This is macrame that is 3mm thick. You're also going to need this clasp here, the lock. If you don't have this, you can just use a button, it's still fine. You're also going to need these 2 metal rings here for the handle, and if you don't have these, you can still just attach the handle straight to the bag. It's still fine. Okay, so let's begin. So we're going to begin with a chain of 11 for the base of the bag. Okay, so this is my slip knot. Okay, so I'm going to do 11 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I now have 11 chains here. So I want to begin the first round. So we're going to be using the cross stitch. It's slightly different to the single crochet, the normal single crochet that we know. With single crochet, we yarn over, but with cross stitch, we yarn under like this. Okay, so I'm going to skip this first stitch from the hook and then insert my hook into the second chain, and then I'm going to yarn under like this, pull through, and then yarn over and then pull through. So this is my first stitch, and I'm going to put a stitch marker in there. So I'm going to put this one that has got a different color from all these because it is marking the starting point, and you're going to be putting it back up until we finish the bag. Okay, so in the next one we're going to put 1 cross stitch. So you yarn under like this, okay, yarn over, then pull through again, and then pull through. Pull through. So I'm just going to continue here with the cross stitch up until I'm here. Okay, so I'm left with this 1 chain here, the last chain, and in this last chain I'm going to put 5 cross stitches, okay, or 5 single crochets. Okay, so that's 1, okay, 2, I'm going to put a stitch marker in this one, 3, again, 4, okay, then the 5th one, and that the 5th one. Okay, so here I'm going to continue crocheting, inserting my hook at the back of the chains and putting 1 stitch in each. Okay, like that. Okay, next. Okay, so I'm just going to continue and let's meet here. Okay, so here I'm left with one space here, so I'm going to put 4 cross stitches in this space. Okay, so that's 1, okay, 2. So in this second here I'm going to put a stitch marker, 3, and then the last one, 4. and this completes my first round. Okay, like this. So now moving on to the next round, we're just going to continue with the cross stitch up until we finish the back. So I'm going to put one stitch in each. Okay, put back the stitch marker here. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to continue. Let's meet in the stitch. Okay, so here I'm going to remove the stitch marker, and then I'm going to put 2 cross stitches in here. Okay, so that's 1. Okay, then put back the stitch marker here. Again from the same stitch. Okay, I'm going to put another one. Then I'm going to repeat that here and here. One, then 2. One, then 2. Like this. Okay, so what we've done here is we've added 3 stitches here. Okay, so I'm going to continue with one stitch in each. Okay, 1 cross stitch in each stitch up until we're at the next stitch marker. Okay, so here I'm going to repeat here what we did here. So I'm going to put 2. That's 1. And then in the same stitch, put another 1, 2. Again, I repeat in the next stitch. It's 1. Then 2. Okay. Then this one again. 1. So what we're doing here is, for these 6 stitches, we're going to be putting 2 single crochets. Okay, until we're done with the base. Okay, except for this one, this stitch marker is only marking the starting point, but for these ones we're going to be putting 2 stitches in each up until we're done with the base. So here I've finished the second round. We're going to repeat what we did with the second round up until we have a total of 5 rounds, and then come back. So we're going to do round 3, round 4, round 5, and then come back. Come back. So this is the best of our back, and we now have 5 rounds. If you had to measure the length, it's about 23 centimeters, and the width is about 11 centimeters. So if you want your bag to be bigger, you can just increase the number of rounds, or initially when we did the foundation chain, you can just increase the number of chains. So now I want to move on to the next round. The next round is going to be slip stitch right round up until we're back here. So we're just going to do the normal slip stitch. So you insert your hook below both loops and over, then go through. So this is the first slip stitch, then into the next one like that. Okay, so continue with slip stitch right round up until we're back here. Welcome back. So I've just finished the slip stitch, and we now want to begin crocheting the sides of the bag. So if you turn your base, you find that we have 3 loops on the side here. So we're going to continue with the cross stitch just like we were doing here. So here you find that we have 1, 2, 3 loops. Okay, so we're just going to set our hook into the 2 outer loops, these ones. Then we're going to continue with the cross stitch where we yarn under, and then work the normal single crochet. So in the next, like that. So this time we'll just be putting 1 cross stitch right round, or 1 single crochet right round up until we're back here at the starting point. We're going to maintain the same number of stitches. Okay, so let's continue right round and let's meet back here. Welcome back. So I've done the first round of the sides, this one. So we're just going to repeat what we did here, just putting 1 cross stitch in a stitch. For here, the second round, we're going to be inserting below the 2 loops at the top here, like that, and then we do the cross stitch. Remember to put back the stitch marker up until we finish the back. The next stitch, cross stitch, like that. So I'm just going to do this round and come back. So I've just finished the second round for the sides. So we're going to continue repeating what we did with the second round up until we have 14 rounds, and then come back. So I now have 14 rounds, and this is our bag. If you have to measure the height, it's about 6.5 inches. Okay, so now we want to do the last round, which is going to be slip stitch. But before we do that, lay your bag flat like this. Make sure that it is very flat like this. Okay, we want to fold our bag at the corners here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come at this edge here, and then I'm going to start counting from the stitch at the corner here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I'm going to put my stitch marker in the 5th stitch. Okay, and then we started counting from this one. We said 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this is 5. I'm going to count again going this other side. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm going to do the same this side. Okay, so for this side, I'm going to start counting from this stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'll put my stitch marker in this one. And then this side, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I put in the 5th stitch. Like that. Okay, so I'm going to do slip stitch as the last round. Okay, so this is how we're going to do the slip stitch, like that. So I put back the stitch marker. So I'm going to continue with slip stitch. Let's meet at the stitch marker here. So here, I'm going to remove the stitch marker here. And then I'm going to do slip stitch, like that. I'm going to skip all of the stitches. And then I'm going to do the next slip stitch into the stitch with marker. With the stitch marker. Like that. Okay, so we're folded here. So I'm going to continue with slip stitch in the following stitches. Okay, so let's continue slip stitch and let's meet here. So here again I remove the stitch marker, I do slip stitch in this one, then I skip all of the stitches, and then I come again, okay. So this is our bag, and we have folded the sides inwards. So we find that here we're already at the starting point, so we're just going to finish up here. Okay, I'm just going to cut and then fasten off. Okay, so I'm just going to continue and fasten this off inside the bag and then come back. Welcome back. So this is our bag so far. So now I want to do the handle. So here we're going to do a chain, but I'm going to leave a tail here for us to be able to attach the handle to the bag. So I'm going to leave a tail here about 30 centimeters or longer, and then I'm going to do a chain of 38. If you want the handle to be longer, just increase the number of chains. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So here, this is my chain. So I'm going to skip the first chain from the hook and insert my hook into the second one, and I'm going to do the cross stitch just like we were doing with the bag. Okay, like that. Cross stitch. Okay, so I'm going to continue the cross stitch up until I'm towards the end here. Okay, so here I've done cross stitch on all the stitches, on all the chains. So here at the end here, remember we have this tail that we left earlier on when we began. So I'm just going to remove this slight knot at the end. You can leave it, it's fine. Okay, like this. Okay. Then I'm going to put another cross stitch in this chain. Try to ignore the tail. Okay. Then I'm going to go on and insert my hook here at the back of the chains, like that. Just like we would do when we were crocheting the base of the bag. Okay, so I'm inserting my hook in the back of each chain. Okay, and then doing one cross stitch in each. Like that. Okay, so I'm going to continue up until I'm back here at the starting point. So this is my handle. So what we want to do here is we want to join these stitches like this. Okay, so here leave a tail of yarn that is enough to join from this side up to this side. Okay, so you find that this side we've got the cross stitch and we've got this side. So I'm going to fold here, and then I'm going to start joining here like that. Okay, Okay, like that. So I'm just going to go on up until I'm at the end here and then come back. Okay, so you should have a handle like this one. Okay, at the end you just cut and then you remain with the tail. So now want to put this small metal rings here for the handle. Okay, so lay your bag flat. Okay, so here at this corner here, I'm going to take my tapestry needle and then I'm going to join. Okay, so here I'm going to fasten this off inside the bag, and then I'm also going to join. You also come this other side. Make sure that your bag is flat here, and then you join at this side just like we did here, and then come back. Okay, so I now have these metal hooks in place. So now I want to attach the handle. Okay, so this is my handle. Okay, I'm going to come here, just find somewhere to insert your hook. Okay, so just going to have these four like this. Okay, so then you fasten off your yarn. Okay, just hide it inside like this. Okay, then I'm going to cut here. So the same with this one, the handle. Okay, so we're going to do the same this side. So you can either use this tail that we already have. Okay, just do what we did here and then come back. So this is our bag so far. Now we want to put a lock here, so I'm just going to be using a class block here. If you don't have this one, you can just use a button. Okay, so I'm going to take my crochet hook in my yarn, so leave a tail here. Okay, I'm going to do a chain of 10. Okay, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, and then 10. So from here I'm going to skip this chain, and then I'm going to do the cross stitch that we've been doing so far. Okay, so I'm going to put a stitch marker in this one, like that. In the following, 1 cross stitch, 1 cross stitch, 1 cross stitch. Okay, in this last one here, I'm going to put 3. So that's 1. Okay. 2. And then 3. If you want, you can even put 4, it's still fine. Okay, so I'm going to continue crocheting at the back of the chains, putting 1 cross stitch in each. Okay, so this ones I'm going to put stitch markers. Okay, so I'm going to continue with 1 cross stitch. Let's meet in this last one. Okay, so in this last one I'm going to put 2 cross stitches, 2 single crochets. That's 1. Okay, and then put a stitch marker there. And then another one, like that. This completes my first round. Okay, so to begin off the next round, I'm going to put 2 cross stitches in this stitch, this first one here. Okay, so that's 1. Put a marker back, and then another one, like that. Okay, so I'm going to continue putting 1 cross stitch in the following stitches, like that. Okay, okay, so let's continue and meet here. Okay, so here in this stitch I'm going to put 2 cross stitches, so that's 1. Okay, and then 2. So at this point, if you are going to be using a button, you skip the stitch and then you chain 2 and then move on into this, so that you create a hole here. Okay, but because we are using that lock, I'm just going to continue. I'm going to put 2 stitches in this one, that's 1, and then another one, 2. Okay, so I'm going to put 2 again in this one with the stitch marker, and then 1 1 1 in these ones, and then again 2 in here, and then 2 in here, and then come back. Okay, so here at the end we've finished this one, so I'm going to cut here. And remove the stitch markers. Okay, so I'm just going to fasten this off and then come back. Okay, so I'm now going to set this lock. It comes in pair. Okay, so this is the one that goes onto the bag. I'm going to put it there. So here, okay, make sure that it is holding firm enough. Okay, so here, so we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. This is the middle part of our bag, so this should come here. Okay, like that. Okay, so I'm going to come this side. Now I'm going to join this one here. Okay. Okay, so now this is in place. So here, now I want to put this one. Okay. So it's supposed to be somewhere here. Came back, so I've inserted the clasp here, the lock. Okay, so our bag is done. This is the bag, the handle. It's inside the bag. Okay, and the bottom. Okay, thank you for watching Mima's Crafts. Please do subscribe, like, and comment for more videos. Thank you.